In today's fast-paced world, worry seems to be an inevitable part of life. Whether it's due to financial pressure, personal relationships, health issues, or career challenges, most people find themselves overwhelmed by anxiety and fear at some point. Dale Carnegie's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, first published in 1948, offers practical advice and strategies to break free from the grip of worry and lead a more peaceful, fulfilling life. The book, widely regarded as one of the most influential self-help guides of all time, is grounded in common-sense wisdom and psychological principles. It teaches readers how to face their fears, manage stress, and take control of their thoughts. Carnegie's approach is rooted in his belief that action and attitude are the keys to overcoming worry. By changing the way we think and act, we can free ourselves from the paralyzing effects of anxiety and embrace a more optimistic, productive, and peaceful life. In this summary, we will break down the key principles from Carnegie's book, providing practical examples and actionable steps you can take to start applying the advice in your own life. Understanding worry and its causes. Before Carnegie offers solutions, he explains the underlying causes of worry and why it affects so many people. According to him, worry is a result of a variety of psychological and emotional factors, including fear of the unknown, regret over the past, and uncertainty about the future. Carnegie also highlights that worrying is often self-inflicted. It is a habit that we nurture through negative thinking, and most of the things we worry about never even happen. The power of the mind is such that our fears are often exaggerated and we make them feel real even though they are mere possibilities. Key factors that contribute to worry include fear of criticism. Many people worry about how others will perceive them. Self-doubt, a lack of confidence or belief in one's abilities. Regret over past mistakes. Dwelling on the past robs us of the present. Fear of failure, an overwhelming concern that things will go wrong. The book stresses that while these fears are natural, they do not have to control our lives. Understanding the source of your worries is the first step toward defeating them. Fundamental techniques in handling worry. Carnegie outlines several fundamental techniques that anyone can use to manage and reduce worry. The first step is to live in day-tight compartments, which means focusing on the present moment and not allowing ourselves to be bogged down by future anxieties or past regrets. Live in day-tight compartments. Carnegie introduces the concept of a day-tight compartment, meaning that we should only concern ourselves with what we can control today. He likens it to a ship's watertight compartments that keep water from flooding the entire ship. Example: instead of worrying about how you will perform in a presentation next week, focus entirely on preparing for today's tasks. By focusing on the present, you can minimize the emotional burden of future uncertainties. Focus on the present, not the past or future. One of the core pieces of advice Carnegie offers is that we should stop dwelling on what happened or what might happen. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, so why waste energy worrying about them? The only time we can control is the present. Example: if you've made a mistake in a past project, instead of constantly replaying the failure in your mind, focus on how you can improve in the current project. By doing so, you are taking constructive action instead of letting worry take over. What's the worst that can happen? Carnegie suggests that we examine our fears by asking ourselves, what's the worst that could happen? By contemplating the worst-case scenario, we often realize that even the worst outcome is not as catastrophic as we imagined. Example: if you're worried about losing your job, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? Perhaps it's being unemployed for a period. Then plan for how you would handle that situation. By acknowledging and planning for worst-case scenarios, we often find that the fear loses its power over us. Accept the worst and move forward. Once you've analyzed the worst-case scenario, Carnegie encourages you to mentally accept it and then work toward improving the situation. By taking control of your response, you alleviate the power worry holds over you. If your business is facing financial difficulties, accept that you may experience losses or a temporary downturn. However, use that acceptance as motivation to explore new solutions, pivot your business model, or even learn new skills to improve your prospects. 6 ways to prevent worry from taking over your life. In this section, Carnegie offers 6 more practical steps to help people manage their worry. These are more actionable techniques for daily living that promote emotional and mental well-being. Keep busy. One of the best ways to combat worry is to stay busy and engaged with productive activities. When we're focused on work, hobbies, or helping others, we don't have time to dwell on negative thoughts. Example: instead of obsessing over a recent argument with a colleague, engage in a project that excites you, or spend time working on personal development. Keeping your mind occupied helps prevent idle worry. Don't spill the cup of worry. Carnegie suggests we refrain from spilling the cup of worry by confronting problems one at a time. By focusing on solving one issue before jumping to the next, we avoid overwhelming ourselves. Example: if you're anxious about multiple deadlines, tackle them one by one instead of stressing about all of them at once. This helps you stay calm and organized. Don't let worry become a habit. Worrying is a habit, and like any habit, it can be unlearned. Carnegie advises that the more we allow worry to control our thoughts, the more ingrained it becomes. Instead, practice positive thinking and train yourself to adopt a constructive mindset. Example: each time a worry arises, replace it with an optimistic thought or a plan of action. Over time, you'll rewire your brain to think more positively and less worryingly. Convert your worry into action. Instead of passively worrying about an issue, take proactive steps to address it. This could mean making a phone call, researching solutions, or having a conversation with a colleague. Example: if you're worried about an upcoming exam, take action by creating a study schedule. And sticking to it, the more action you take, the less power worry will have. Don't borrow trouble. Carnegie emphasizes that we should not worry about things that may never happen. Often, we waste energy on hypothetical scenarios that are far from reality. Example: if you're worried about your health, don't let your mind jump to the worst-case outcome. Focus on healthy habits today instead of borrowing trouble about what may happen in the future. Count your blessings. A powerful way to shift from worry to gratitude is to count your blessings. By focusing on what's going well in your life, you can reframe your perspective and move away from negative thinking. Example: if you're feeling anxious about work, take a moment to reflect on your achievements, the relationships you've built, and the opportunities you have. This practice helps you see the positive side of your life and diminishes the space worry takes up. Conclusion: How to Stop Worrying and Start Living is not just a book about mental well-being, but a practical guide to transforming your mindset. Dale Carnegie presents actionable steps to help readers face their fears, live more fully in the present, and take proactive steps to overcome the obstacles that lead to worry. At its core, Carnegie teaches us that worry is a choice, one that we can control. By practicing techniques such as living in day-tight compartments, accepting the worst-case scenario, and replacing worry with action, we can free ourselves from the paralyzing grip of anxiety. Through real-world examples, Carnegie shows that worry is not inevitable, but rather a mental habit that can be changed with focus, discipline, and action. His advice has helped millions around the world to stop living in fear of the future and start living in the present. By adopting these principles, anyone can transform their life, overcome mental blocks, and achieve peace of mind in a world full of uncertainty. Worry may always exist, but it doesn't have to rule your life.
Be part of our journey. If you find our content valuable and inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Your support motivates us to keep going and bring you the best content. So don't forget to leave a like and share the video with those who might benefit.